U.S. indices have a tough Q1. Where will they go in Q2? My name's Chris. I work for FXEmpire. But first, this video is brought to you by XNS, the world's leading retail brokerage firm offering ultra-fast execution and no overnight fees. Look for a link in the description below. The Nasdaq 100 has plunged during the first quarter of 2025. And it's just been ugly everywhere. So the question now is, can we bounce? I suspect that sometime during Q2, we will see the NASDAQ 100 bounce. The question, of course, is when? And there's no real answer, at least no real clear answer at this point. But if we were to recapture the 20,000 level, I think that is a huge psychological victory for the market. If we give up 18,000, then I think we're in serious trouble. We have much further to go. It has been very noisy due to tariffs and a whole plethora of other issues. And let's be honest here, Q2 is going to kick off with a bang because there's supposed to be the quote unquote Liberation Day via Donald Trump on the 2nd. The Dow Jones 30 has been very negative as well, but unlike the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq 100, it's been at least somewhat stable. And if you think about it, that does make a certain amount of sense considering that the tariffs that could come into play and really hamper some economic growth might actually help some of the Dow Jones Industrial Average companies. After all, a lot of these are big manufacturers, so we'll have to wait and see. That being said, we have just formed the massive M pattern on the weekly charts, so that's not a technically good sign. Although, like I said, this index has held up better than the other ones. I'd pay close attention to the 40,100 level to see if it offers support if we do, in fact, break down. If we recapture 42,500, that might be your go signal. The S&P 500, of course, has been very ugly. It's probably worth noting that we are at least trying to find our footing. But I think there's a couple levels that you need to watch underneath. The 5,400 level should, at least in theory, offer support. If it doesn't, that's not good. After that, then you have the 5,200 level and then the 5,000 level. Recapturing 5,800, I think, is a signal that Q2 might actually be fairly good for the S&P 500. All indices are basically the same thing right now. The Dow Jones a little bit different because it is a price-weighted average and, of course, more industrial. But that being said, they're all huge risk-off signals at the end of Q1. So Q2, it's really going to come down to, will we get this tariff noise out of the way? If and when we do, these indices probably turn right back around. There are concerns about recession in America, but quite frankly, the stock markets tend to recover long before the recession is over, and that's what I'd be watching for here. My name's Chris. I work for FXEmpire. If you enjoyed the video, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more analysis.